Welcome to the afterlife. You're being reincarnated as a Pachycephalosaurus. And the first thing you should know is that you have a dome of solid bone on the top of your skull. 25 centimeters thick, pure, dense bone, built up over years into a rounded mass that sits on the top of your head like a helmet that fused to your skull and never came off. Scientists have measured the material properties and found it comparable to some of the hardest bone structures in the fossil record. Your skull is a weapon. The second thing you should know is that scientists have been arguing for decades about whether you ever actually use it. One camp says the dome is for headbutting, two Pachycephalosaurus running at each other, dome to dome, the impact force absorbed by that extraordinary bone mass and the reinforced vertebrae below it. A ritual combat system for establishing hierarchy, the way deer use antlers. The other camp says the bone shows the wrong kind of stress fractures for repeated high-impact collisions, and the dome is primarily for display, visual recognition, social signaling, the same role as a peacock's tail, but significantly less elegant. Both camps have evidence, neither has won. You are about to live inside that argument. You hatch from an egg in the Hell Creek Formation, what will one day be the western United States, roughly 66 million years ago, Late Cretaceous. The same time and place as T-Rex and Triceratops. The same landscape, the same risks. You are the size of a cat. Your dome is already present on your skull. Small, smooth, clearly marked out as different from the surrounding skull bone, but not yet the 25-centimeter mass it will become. You look at this stage like someone put a small marble under the skin on top of your head. You are a bipedal herbivore. 2 legs, uprightish, arms held close to the body, shorter than a theropod but present. You eat plants. You move in loose groups of other Pachycephalosaurus of various ages. The group provides safety in the way all prey animal groups provide safety. You are not the only one any predator can see, and if something comes for the group, there are others who might be slower or less alert than you. You grow. The dome grows with you. By year 3, it is clearly there. By year 6, it is unmistakable. And the first time another Pachycephalosaurus of similar size walks toward you with its head down and its dome leading, something in your body answers before your brain has processed the question. Here is what scientists know about the dome and what they don't, because the gap between those two things is the thing you live in. What they know. The bone is dense and hard and reinforced in ways that suggest it was designed to handle compressive load. The vertebrae directly below the skull show unusual thickening. The spine is built to absorb vertical impact from the head. The head fits the neck the way a ramming tool fits its handle. The engineering strongly suggests this was built for collision. What they don't know. Whether the collision was head-to-head or flank-to-flank. Some researchers argue the geometry of a head-on collision between two dome-skulled animals would produce lateral forces the neck couldn't actually handle, and propose instead that the dome was used to ram rivals in the flank or body rather than straight on. Others argue the head-on collision absolutely worked, the neck was adequate, and the evidence of bone remodeling on dome surfaces shows healed impact damage, meaning they hit each other, they got hurt, they healed, they hit each other again. You don't know any of this. You know that when a rival of similar size approaches with its head lowered, your head lowers too. You know that the dome connects and that the impact travels through your skull and down your spine and through your legs into the ground, and that you are still standing after. You know that sometimes the rival walks away first, and sometimes you do. What you don't know is what the dome is actually doing to you each time. Whether what looks like hardness is also fragility in ways that won't become visible until they become catastrophic. Whether the bone that has held every time so far will hold every time after. You are now fully grown, 4.5 meters long, 450 kilograms. Your dome is at its full 25 centimeters, a rounded mass of dense bone rising from your skull like a small hill. The surface of it marked with shallow pits and ridges from previous impacts, healed over, part of the texture of who you are now. Your herd, loose as herds go, more of a shared territory than a true social unit, numbers around 20 individuals. You know each of them by sight and by the specific dome profile each one carries. No two domes are identical. The size, the height, the exact rounding of the top, the particular pattern of healed marks on the surface. These are faces to you. You read the dome the way you read the whole animal. There is one you watch more than the others, bigger than you, not by much, perhaps 30 kilograms, perhaps a slightly taller dome. You have been aware of each other for 2 years. In those 2 years, you have had 4 encounters. 3 ended quickly, a display, a posture, a retreat by one or the other that wasn't quite you and wasn't quite the other, but was close enough each time that you remember every detail of each 3 seconds. The 4th was different. The 4th time, you connected. The 4th encounter was at the edge of the feeding territory during dry season. Less food, less space, less tolerance for the ambiguity that had ended the first 3 encounters without resolution. You were feeding from a cycad cluster, and the bigger animal came into the clearing, and something about the angle, the light, the particular combination of hunger and proximity meant the display did not produce a retreat. You lowered your head. The bigger animal lowered its head. You ran. The impact was not painful exactly, because the dome was doing its job and absorbing the force, but something. A reversal of the world, a moment of white and then the ground and then your legs under you and then standing. The dome had connected dome. The bigger animal was also standing, also recalibrating, also reading the damage and finding it survivable. You stood facing each other for a long moment, both of you processing. Then it turned, slowly, and walked back the way it came. You stood until it was out of sight. Then you found the cycad cluster again, and you ate, your legs slightly uncertain under you, your dome carrying something it had always been built to carry, and giving nothing back about whether it had been changed by the carrying. Here is what nobody tells you about winning. You don't know you won until the other animal is gone and you are still there. And even then, standing alone in the clearing, dome intact, legs under you, you don't know what it cost. You can't feel the fine structure of bone. You can't run your own materials analysis. You have a dome that has survived everything it has encountered, and no information about the margin. Every encounter after the 4th feels different, not because you are less willing, because you know now what an impact feels like from the inside, the white, the ground, the recalibration, and you know that it felt like that for you, which means it felt like that for the other animal too, which means the question you are asking at the start of every encounter is now a question with a real answer behind it, and not just a theoretical one. The question is, what happens if the dome doesn't hold? You don't ask it consciously. You are a Pachycephalosaurus, and your brain, while capable enough to navigate a complex social territory, is not structured for the kind of existential reflection this question would require. But something in your body asks it. Some alarm in your system that wasn't calibrated before the fourth encounter runs a little faster after it. You hold your ground. You always hold your ground. The dome is still there. The dome has held. But the question runs. The years go on. You win some encounters and lose some, and the territory shifts by small degrees in your favor and occasionally against it. The bigger animal from the fourth encounter is still in the territory. You have had 3 more collisions with it. All survived. The dome surfaces of both of you carry more marks now, a record of the negotiation written directly into the bone. Your dome is 40 years of decisions. It is the accumulated record of every rival who lowered their head and found you still standing at the end of it. It is healed fractures you cannot feel and remodeled bone you cannot see, and an argument that scientists 70 million years in the future will not have settled, between a camp that says your life was defined by collision and a camp that says it was defined by display. You are standing in the Hell Creek forest in the late afternoon light. Your dome catches the sun at an angle. The territory around you is quiet. No rivals in the clearing. No threats at the tree line. The cycad cluster is full, and the light is warm, and your legs are steady under you. Somewhere behind you, a branch cracks. Your head comes up. Your dome, 25 centimeters of unanswered question, turns toward the sound. You wait. That's your life as a Pachycephalosaurus, an animal built around a question scientists still can't answer, and neither could you. Subscribe to Life if you were, and we'll put you inside something else entirely next week. We've got something coming up that's faster, lighter, and considerably more dangerous than anything its size has a right to be. See you there.